All right, everyone. I'm excited. John's excited to bring on our guest for this week, Lola Yara, also formerly known as Lola the Adventurer from, among other places, Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling. Lola, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Now, because I know we've interacted a little bit on Facebook with this, but we're big fans of yours from what we saw out in Rocky Mountain Pro. Um, we're a big fan of the new gimmick, man. Violent, violent.
Thank you so much. I think that was definitely the first feedback from a fan, I would say.
Mhm.
So it was really, really cool to hear that. And just like affirming, I guess, that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I
You
think you are.
you killed it. But once we started looking into it and kind of came across the Lola the Adventurer, we were like, holy crap. This is that's all I can
Yeah.
say. It was
Uh,
great. It was great.
yeah. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
So, I wanted to kind of start a little bit, with the standard. I'm sure you've been on podcasts and answered these questions before, but I know from the research you're actually from Peru, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. I was born in Peru, but I came with my parents to the United States when I was about 9 months old. So I
Mhm.
grew up in the US.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Um, but you were still able to qualify for the Peruvian gymnastics team, right? That was
Yes,
Oh,
I was. Yeah,
absolutely.
I was in the Olympics. They didn't show it on TV, so you might not find me there. But I was the only Peruvian that qualified for the Peruvian team in
right.
gymnastics.
Hey,
That's
we've seen that medal. It's legit, Bob. It's the real deal.
no,
Yeah,
it's
it is. I
yeah,
have two medals.
Oh,
So
I'm
yeah,
so
yeah.
sorry.
I only showcased one, but yeah.
Well, you don't want to be a show off. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
hey, look, John, it says Lola the Adventurer right on the medal. I mean, what other proof do
Exactly.
you
Like I
need?
said, legit. I mean, whatever she tells me, yes, ma'am, we're good.
Yeah.
So you came here from Peru. You're 9 months old. You don't remember any of that. But then so where do you end up? Are you in Colorado your whole life, or are you other places?
So I actually grew up in Utah, but I moved to Colorado, I want to say about 4 years ago, to wrestle and train. There's more of a wrestling scene here in Colorado than there was in Utah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
So how did you get involved? I mean,
Well,
were you
I'd say you
involved?
made the right
Right.
choice.
Yeah, no doubt. We're big fans of
Right,
Rocky Mountain.
right.
Um,
Absolutely.
how did you get involved in how did you get involved in wrestling? Were you a fan as a kid, or did you get some other spark later that you wanted to perform? How did that happen?
Yeah, so my dad, when I was little, he would watch a lot of like CMLL, AAA, Um, and so I kind of watched it here and there, but I remember he was actually watching WWE, and it was the whole like Rey Mysterio versus Eddie for Dominic. And I was like, whoa, like this is so cool. They're fighting over a kid. Like, who is his real dad?
Right.
So
We're
so
still trying to figure that out
yeah,
today.
I know.
So
We really are.
So yeah, that got me really invested when I was little. But I mean, I didn't know what channel, what TV, it was on. So I didn't really stick with it. Again, only really when my dad watched it. Um, so then like I remember this one day I was like a teenager. I don't know, maybe like it was 14, 13. Um, I was just going through the channels, and then it was Sunday morning, and then I see Telemundo, and it's Raw, and it's actually Randy Orton versus Matt Hardy. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I remember I used to love watching this. Like, so then I saw that you can go to wwe.com. So I went on there, and then I looked at all of the shows, and I like wrote down all the times, and then I just like started watching it like almost every night. Whatever show came on, every pay-per-view, I would watch. So Yeah, when I became a fan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what we did, right? So we
Yes,
got hooked
sir.
on it, and we never looked back once we got hooked.
Yeah.
Mm.
What made you decide? Okay, now I want to take the next step. I want to start training. I want to become a wrestler.
I think just being overly obsessed, my room being covered in all the posters, my bed sheets. Yeah, my room looked like a boy's room. Um, but so yeah, I want to say maybe like 13, 14. I was like, I want to do this. And um I actually joined my high school's wrestling team
Oh.
for maybe like a month or two, but I was the only girl. And actually, I would say, kicked me out because I was the only girl in the team. So then they had me as a manager.
Mm.
And I remember I cried. I cried so hard. So I'm like, I just want to be like Beth Phoenix. Like,
Hmm.
you
Hey.
know, and at the time I didn't know there was really like a pro wrestling school. Um, and so I remember actually watching, and this was when I was about 15, almost turning 16. I watched Martin Casaus on Tough Enough. And he's from Utah.
Hmm.
And so he talked about where he trained. It was at UCW Zero. And so I was like, what? There's actually a school? So then so that 16, that's when I started training there for about 8 months. And then my mom pulled me out because she didn't feel comfortable. I mean, it was just me and then another like 23-year-old girl. And then everybody else was was guys. So she
Yeah.
was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. And I think she also wanted me like to grow up more and kind of, So whatever. I was really mad at my mom.
Right.
um, but 7 years later, there was another wrestling company in Utah, Devotion Championship Wrestling. So I saw that they were doing tryouts. So I was like, okay, let me try this again, see if I still want to do this. And between that time when I would go to like a bouncy house or like a trampoline, like I would still practice the things that I learned. So there were certain things that I still knew how to do.
Hmm.
Um, so then when I did that tryout, that's when I was like, okay, I do want to do this. I really do want to do this.
That's great.
So been doing it since.
That's great that you kept after it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. We last week we had Bobby Blaze on the show, who is a trainer at the FTC school in Ironton, and he was very, very. It was funny how he tells the stories, but the point of the story was most of these people come in through these doors, they stay one day, and then they never come back. Is that how hard is that first day? I don't want to get into behind piercing the veil and kayfabe, but how hard is that first day?
No, I mean it's really hard. I mean, learning how to fall without catching yourself when your whole life that's what you've done was try to catch yourself. Um so it's definitely retraining your mind.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, it's very difficult. And yeah, I've seen plenty of people who are huge fans and that, really want to do this. This is their dream, but yeah, after that first day, they're like, okay, maybe not for me. But then I've also seen them, at least at Rocky Mountain Pro, then they find their own path in wrestling where then they start doing production and then they like doing
Mhm.
that. They like working the camera. So I think that's just really, really cool because they're still able to be part of it,
Yeah,
but not as a wrestler. And that's okay.
yeah,
Just kind of
absolutely.
find their niche.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're at Devotion. Do you stay with them for a while, have your first matches with them and kind of grow through them, or is there another transition?
Yes, no, that's where I got most of my training was at Devotion. That's where I debuted, which actually was really cool. So in at UCW Zero, when I first started training, I trained with Sierra Rose, and for my debut match, they actually brought her in. And she was actually going to wrestle someone else, but I forgot what happened, but um, they had me make my debut, and I was like, wow, this is like a full circle. So that was really really cool.
So
So then so what happens? But so you end up in Denver at some point from Utah. Um,
Yeah.
how do you transition out of Devotion and then into these other promotions and get hooked up with Rocky Mountain?
So it was, I think I want to say maybe like 2021. So still kind of around like COVID
mhm.
time, trying to get out of that. Um, so Rocky Mountain Pro has does their like biggest show of the year. So it's called Milestone. And in that they hold like a Colorado Cup, um, which is a battle royal. Um, and so they actually reached out to bring out like a carload of wrestlers from Devotion. And so I was one of them. So I came in, and then so that's where I made my debut, was in the Colorado Cup. And so I come out with my Dora gimmick, and everyone loved it. And so from there, the writer at the time, he loved it. I guess he's like never seen me until then. So then they started inviting me out monthly for their shows, and so I just kept coming, and then I decided to move.
Wow.
That's cool. That's
It,
really cool.
it
Yeah.
it is cool. I'll tell you one little tiny thing. As a dad whose kids grew up on Dora, um,
Uh-huh.
hearing you throw the Loisimos at the end pops me every single time. I love it so much because that was my household when my kids were growing up, man. I remember, so it's really
Yeah.
cool. It brought that whole gimmick together for me, and I do love the gimmick. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it too. Growing up, I never thought I was gonna be the Dora girl, but I did it, and it did very well.
Yeah. Now
Uh,
is that
you,
character? Oh, good.
you definitely own it. I was gonna say you own that character. That is, I mean, it is indistinguishable. It's crazy. My girls, a little bit older than Bob's, but they same thing. It was such a part of our household for so long. Um, I think that's why it kind of caught Bob and I both.
Yeah.
That kid, this Lola character. It's just, we saw it and I mean, we were hooked. We hooked.
Oh,
You got us. You got us, Lola. You got us.
thanks.
So is that character, the Lola character, I couldn't tell from some of the transition stuff in Rocky Mountain Pro as the Lola Yara character started to take over, but was Lola the Adventurer essentially always a babyface, or did you do heel work as Lola as well?
So Lola the Adventurer, she's always been a baby face. I When I turned heel, I was trying to still make it work. I didn't know how to.
Hmm.
I think I just needed to be overly annoying, maybe overly more maybe condescending. I'm not sure. I
Right.
watched a lot of, I don't know if you've seen it, like Grown Up Dora on YouTube.
Mm-mm.
Um, oh, it's hilarious. You should watch it.
Oh, I will. Wait, John, have you seen
It's
it?
funny.
Yeah, my girls, think it's hilarious. So yeah, I've seen a little bit of it.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, um, yeah. So it's getting kind of hard. So then I switched to Lola Yara to kind of be more of myself when I get
Mhm.
angry, when I get annoyed. So just kind of showing that side of me.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, but Lola the Adventurer, for the most part, is babyface, or um, yeah, a good girl.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was noticing, like, like I said, I do my little deep dive, my research, going through your Instagram and things like that. Like, are you still doing the Lola gimmick outside of Rocky Mountain Pro as the babyface, like at Respect and places like that? Is that how that's working?
Yes, yeah. Every other company, um, I'm Lola the Adventurer. It's only at Rocky Mountain Pro that I'm Lola Yara.
Right, right.
So I feel like Hannah Montana sometimes. I get
I bet.
play the best of both worlds.
Oh my God, how you doing? I would come out and screw it up. I would come out and immediately be a heel when I was supposed to be a baby face. It would be too
uh,
much in my head. Um,
yeah.
but so I saw so as I'm looking, I saw that you worked at Respect, and then I saw you were recently at a Vegas Lucha Libre show. How are those guys to work with? How did that show go?
The Vagos Lucha
Vagos,
Libre.
yeah. Mhm.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, I haven't really trained a lucha much, so like that always gets me nervous. Because I do speak Spanish, but my Spanish is different than the Spanish in Mexico. So
Right.
sometimes I'm like, I need a translator.
Right.
Right.
um, but no, those I have so much fun at those lucha shows. I love the music, and just the environment and the fans. So lots of fun.
Yeah, that's something it's on my list. I have yet to be to a full lucha show, and I think it's just like you said, it's like a party. I mean, it's just so much energy and fun, and everybody's into it from what I can see, and certainly AAA and CMLL. I mean that the energy in those crowds is it's nuts, and so I love the energy. I'm always there for the energy, and so I'm big on that. Um, did so? Are you Lola? I asked this because I had a guy on a few weeks ago. His name is Draven, the Blackbird King, and then when he goes and wrestles for Lucha, he is Draw Lucha. Is there any adjustments that you make to your character on the Lucha shows?
Um, no, I mean sometimes I have them announce me as the luchadora,
Okay.
Lola the Adventurer. But
Right,
that's like the only adjustment.
right, right. Oh man, that's funny. Um, so all right, so Rocky Mountain Pro is the main thing. I look at your work, and it seems like you've been really focused on Rocky Mountain Pro for a while. How are those folks to work with? What's your experience been at Rocky Mountain Pro just overall for the last couple of years?
It's been great, I mean, um I think with a lot of companies they struggle with having um a good group of girls, if that makes sense. Like I think like we're kind of always in rotation where there's like four or three consistent girls. So it's a lot of wrestling one another multiple times. So we
Mhm.
know each other very well. Um, so in that sense, it's kind of been hard because I would like to see more girls there. And we have a few other girls in training, which is great. But I mean, but I also love like when they bring in more experienced girls like Malia. I loved learning from her. Or like we've had Christy Chains, which has been super helpful too. Um, but yeah, I mean, the locker room, it's lots of fun. It's lots of fun. And I mean, I think we're one big family, truly. Like I said, like we're just we all know each other so well. So of course there's misunderstandings or things that happen, but at the end of the day, I think all of us have each other's back, and we all want to see, you know, anyone in the school get signed. Like whoever it is, like it would be amazing, even if they got that the WWA ID, which is really cool because like with Rocky Mountain Pro, we're actually getting some of those matches um, that we're able to air and stuff like that. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
it's been
Yeah,
great. So
yeah, that's awesome. What was I going to ask you about that a second ago? I had a question in my head and then I lost it. You were talking about the women's division or whatever, right? So yeah, there's a bunch of a few women who, as I was going through the archives and stuff, I see that like you said, a few of the same people. It seems like the same group. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I'm gonna get to that question in a second. I wanted to make
okay.
I wanted to make a comment because you mentioned how Rocky Mountain Pro is you guys are really close knit and are really like a family and things like that. And I wanted to say that John and I happened to go look at the YouTube comments on our podcast where we talked about Rocky Mountain Pro a few weeks ago, and it's like the entire family came out to like I don't know if you mentioned that or if they saw your post or what, but there's just comment after comment from guys from Rocky Mountain Pro uh, about the podcast, and it's the first promotion that I've seen. John, remind me if I'm wrong. It's the first promotion I've seen
Yeah,
where everybody
no,
came out in support of it in mass, which I thought was awesome.
yeah, we popped hard today when we discovered that we were marking out all over the place. It, it was just neat, it. We kind of sit here. We do this for each other. I mean, we've been friends for forever. So, to know somebody's really out there listening to us, man. Who knew? Who knew? I didn't know.
Yeah, no, because because you guys also gave really good feedback about the production and the
Oh,
storylines. So I had to share it just to let everyone know that they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it can get tiring and again like frustrations, especially doing it monthly.
mhm.
So I think that was very, very motivating for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, is that something that should the TV the charge is on? It's not just YouTube; it's on local TV, right?
Yes, it's on Right Now TV. I believe we're working on another local TV station. I'm not sure what it's called yet, and
Hmm.
nothing's confirmed yet either. So, but yes, yeah, Right Now TV.
Yeah, and the shoot, I'm losing my train of thought half over and over again tonight. You guys are on local TV, but the do you guys record like that's what I was going to ask. Do you guys record multiple TV shows at a time? Do you have like a recording session where you do three or four shows at once, or do you do them every week?
No, we do it once a month. So it's usually in 2 days. We do all of the pre-tapes and all of the matches.
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes I have 3 matches one night
Hmm.
or
Oh
one.
wow.
Yeah. And then you guys do the live events about every month?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We do. And especially now that um summer is coming up, we're gonna pretty much every single week is booked. We do flea market shows, we do bar shows, and then not only that, but then, there's other promotions that we're going to. So
Oh,
yeah,
right.
it's definitely gonna be soon.
Wow, you guys are keeping busy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So what I want to know is at one of these big shows, when are you finally going to get Big Daddy Mo right where you want her?
Sorry, you cut out. Can you
Oh,
repeat that one
sorry.
more time? I just heard.
Oh goodness, sorry. We've been having some issues with this tonight. No, I was gonna say I've been watching the shows and my question is when are you gonna get Big Daddy Mo right where you want her at one of these live events?
You know what? I'm really hoping at Milestone um that I'll get her so Milestone it is the biggest show of the year, so I think that would definitely mean a lot to me if that's where I finally beat her.
Hmm.
So,
I
yeah.
saw I saw a post that you are the longest reigning number one contender. So,
Yes, so I've been at Rocky Mountain Pro for uh, yeah, almost 3 4 years, something like that. And I've never gotten the belt. I've always been number one contender. That's always the closest I've been. So that's why I'm the longest reigning number one contender.
yeah, and I noticed that.
That's why Lola.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, Bob.
Oh, no,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say that's why Lola the baddie's she's done taking it, man. She's going to get what she wants now.
Seriously, man, I saw you
Yeah.
breaking out kendo sticks and all and plungers and all
Hmm.
sorts of stuff, man. I was like, she gonna get that
I'm
belt.
not messing with this woman. Yes, this was a woman on a mission.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've been there for so long. There's a lot of girls have been in and out, and I've been here the whole time. And so, yeah, I'm pretty much done waiting. I'm done being nice. Like like I'm going for the belt, and that's what I'm gonna go after.
Right.
And Mo's the only person in my way right now.
That's it.
We are there for it, Lola. We are there for it.
Thank you.
How is I guess maybe we'll call it a scouting report for this Big Daddy Mo, but talk to us about Big Daddy Mo as an opponent. How is she to work within the ring and what are the challenges Lola faces?
She works really hard, for sure. Um, and I mean, she's always training, always trying to get better. Um, she's still newer. She's fresh, I guess you can say. Um, so I mean, working with her is incredible, is always fun, but it's always a challenge at the same time
Hmm. I
because yeah, she's working really hard to keep that belt. So
understand. Yeah, it looked like it. Definitely looked
yeah.
like it. So when you win the belt, you bring it back to the law office. And my question to you is,
Yeah.
how'd you get hooked up with those guys?
Preston, who's my lawyer. Um, no, Preston, he's the one who's really been pushing for me. Always saying like that I deserve the belt that I and so he's always been on my side. And um so he started the law office with JK Pop, who is the longest tag team champions from RMP. And so he brought me into the law office so I can learn from them on eventually getting the belt, on how to be a champion. And so opportunity after opportunity, still haven't gotten the belt. So then I think they got tired. JK Pop got tired of trying to teach me. I don't know. But so then they left, they're gone. um, but Preston has still been there. Preston still has had my back. And so we've actually recruited new other members that are on that pathway to getting the belts. So
Is that cease and
yeah. So
desist?
yes, yes.
I asked
Yeah.
that because Preston actually commented. One of the things we were popping earlier over these comments,
Mm.
one of them was from Preston, and I think it said Lola is a future women's champion. Cease and desist are future tag team champions, and they're
Yeah.
all mine, like or something to that effect. And I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yes. Yes. So yeah. So Preston is in the back filing paperwork or whatever, working his magic to get these opportunities.
Hmm.
So some people might call it a shortcut, but I don't know. I think it's being smart.
No doubt.
We agree. We agree.
So, how hard was it to, or was it hard for you to transition and turn on that meanness that quickly? I mean, is that something you had to get yourself amped up for, or was it always sort of there waiting for whenever you decided to turn heel?
Um, so actually, so they wanted me to turn heel maybe like a few years ago, and I just didn't feel ready. I still felt like
Hmm.
there were things that I needed to learn.
Hmm.
Um, and so I was like, no, I don't want to be heel. I was a really nice person, and actually, it was really funny because when Christy Janes first met me, she was like, "You're too nice to be in wrestling." I was like, "Oh." I talk to everyone, and like I just want to make sure everyone's okay, and you know um but I think eventually like I said, I've been there for so long, and I hadn't gotten certain opportunities, and other people have. so it was a lot easier to transition and, be frustrated because I am frustrated.
Right, right.
So so it's kind of it's a little bit more natural now
Mm,
instead of um trying to be a heel. Now it's like, no, I'm actually upset and I can show it out there and let
Yeah,
everyone know that
right.
I'm upset.
mm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely clear. Um, so, but then how does the gymnastics gimmick become a part of that? Like, how does that come about?
Yeah. Okay, so Vince Russo, he was actually writing for us for a while.
Oh,
So that
really?
was his
Holy cow.
idea. Yeah.
Wow.
Vince
Wow.
Rice,
Yeah.
Vince Russo's
Uh,
always sneaking into places right, and we never know, right?
oh,
God damn, that's
no.
awesome.
Um, and so they did an interview with Big Daddy Mo, and she was sharing how she was training to go to the Olympics. And then something happened to her knee where she couldn't do gymnastics anymore. Um, and so then that's where Lola the gymnast was born. So because since I've been to the Olympics,
Right,
you
right.
know, I've already won that part.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been I did what Mo couldn't do in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, look,
Certified, verified, Bob.
everyone knows about Lola and the Peruvian national gymnastics team. I mean, they're legendary, and her wins are monumental. So I'm glad that the community out in Denver and anybody else who watches Rocky Mountain Pro can finally see, these amazing routines. And man, I heard a
Hey man, they've
commentator
got
say on one
great.
of them, Simone who. I'm here,
Hey,
Simone
hey,
I
who.
they've got greatness living amongst them out there, man.
exactly.
Lola, you're just brightening the place up.
Oh,
Bringing a little class out there, a little athleticism.
yeah, I have to show them. I had to showcase my winning performance
Hell yeah.
and how I got my.
That's it. Yeah. No, it was a great exhibition. It was all they deserved at that point. And so I'm glad you gave them a little taste, but nothing more. You know what I mean? You got to keep
That's
Yeah.
wanting
right.
more. Um, I wanted to ask you about, so as you mentioned the sort of close knit group of girls there at Rocky Mountain Pro, and just two other names, the former champions that I guess have been there while you were there, Noelle and Lilith Grimm. Talk about those two. How are they to work with?
Uh, yeah, Lilith, I mean, she's one that we've kind of both started at the same time, and we've had lots of matches at Rocky Mountain Pro, outside of Rocky Mountain Pro, outside of the state. So, I mean, I've always loved wrestling Lilith, and I always have her close to my heart. And so, um, yeah, I've always had lots of fun with her, and she's a big girl. So definitely been thrown around the ring multiple times. But yeah, Lilith has always been really great.
Yeah.
And then Noelle, she's worked hard. She's young. She's still learning a lot. And I definitely feel like there's still a lot for her to learn.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, but I mean, yeah, Lilith. I think she's been the two-time Lockets champion. And
Wow.
that's honestly like she's one that I wanted to be to get the belt because of history. Um, but she's not, and now Mo has it, and here we go. She's my target.
Right, right. Oh, and one more person I wanted to mention because it looked like you were really going at it before a while back with Luna. What's the story with you and Luna?
Luna, so she's more of the lucha girls. So I mean, there's not really a story there other than She's just there for me to beat her. I mean, she can try, but
That's right. She's just in Luna's way,
That's
just,
it.
she just wants to get broken.
or Luna's in her way, I should say.
Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier, but the plunger. When how what what made you throw a plunger into the mix?
So I have actually, I was, what's it called? I did. Have you heard of Micromania?
Hmm.
Midget wrestling. So I got invited to do one of their shows there. And they actually had me and Mo do a street fight there, and they had a plunger. So we used that in that match. So then when they had us do um what's it called? Practically the same match. Like
Hmm.
so I was like, oh, I need to get a plunger because I just think it would be really funny. But it backfired though.
Well, it was
For
really
those who
funny.
don't know, I know. I
That it
was
was.
trying to put the plunger on Mo's face, and instead she put it on my face.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it wasn't funny at the
And for fear of getting beat up, I will say it was funny to me. I thought I laughed.
I got her with the kendo stick, so then I was laughing at that.
Right. Oh my goodness gracious. So let's see. I think I might be almost out of questions, but so so where do we go from here, Lola? What are you looking at? What do you think the next couple of years hold for Lola?
Man, I'm really wanting to go international. I definitely want to um, wrestle in Peru. They have, I think, one or two wrestling companies over there.
Mhm.
So I would definitely love to do that. And then the other one is Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
Um, I've always wanted to go to that country anyways. Um,
Yeah.
and Canada, because it's right next door.
You've never wrestled in Canada.
That's awesome.
No, no.
That sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think I
I've
saw
wrestled Canadian, but
right, right.
I've never.
And I thought I saw one of the podcasts that you were on in the last few months was a Winnipeg podcast, I think.
Oh, maybe. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. They're
So
from.
I was the one doing the research today, so like I know all these things, right? But oh goodness, but that's funny. Yeah, in Puerto Rico, that would be crazy. I think there's a wrestler out here who was on Ring of Honor. His name's Ryo. Um, and I think Ryo has been doing shows in Peru, actually. I want to say it was Peru. Um,
Yes, yeah, yeah. When I was first starting, we connected, and he gave me really, really good advice.
really?
I haven't yet. I've been wanting to, so hopefully I get that opportunity to meet him one day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've met
That
him as
would
a
be
fan in
cool.
passing, man, and I mean, he's just a real nice dude. Just, it doesn't surprise me that he reached out and was helping you and giving you advice because he just seems like kind of a down to earth, chill guy. And my God, he can go in the ring too, man, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think he had a WWE tryout or something.
Mm.
So, I mean, I know, yeah, he's on. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him in WWE or AEW or even TNA.
Mm.
Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of his as well. But so back to Lolo though. So let's talk about Rocky Mountain Pro. What is the upcoming? What's your next big live event match or your next big thing you want to promote? I guess for Rocky Mountain Pro that you've got coming up.
Yeah. So, I would say if you are interested in coming to one of our live events, and let's just say you don't live in Colorado, you
Hmm.
want to travel, I would say to come for Milestone. It's June 27th. Um, like I said, that this is like one of our biggest shows of the year.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I think we're gonna be in Wyoming. Um, soon, if you go to rmpwrestling.com, I believe we have a list of all of our dates. I can't keep track. Um, but if you do live in Colorado, we're going to be at the Ball Arena um, after one of the Mammoths games. It's lacrosse.
Hmm.
Um, so that should also be on there. Yeah. Oh, and then Respect Women's Wrestling on May 16th.
Is that also in
All
Denver?
right.
Yes. Yes. Also in Denver.
How are those folks to work with? I just real quick, I didn't get to mention them, but how are the, I mean, I love the all women's promotions. I'm a big fan of them, and I like to see when they pop up. And it seems like Respect's been around for a little while. So
Yes, they have. Actually, when I was first starting, they did like a COVID show, if you want to call it,
right.
no fans. Um,
Right.
and we filmed like 4 or 5 and like episodes, I guess. And honestly, the first match I got a concussion, so I didn't remember anything else that I did until I watched my matches. I was like, oh, I did that match with her. I don't remember it. No, but Nick Gossard and Kelly Dowdy, they're the ones who uh, are putting on Respect Women's Wrestling, and they've always been really great to work with. And uh, the girls there, I guess I just love like the girl power and having all the girls together. I love watching women's wrestling. So I always feel very empowered when all the girls are there. But yeah, all of them, and again, like it's new girls I get to wrestle
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
that I wouldn't be able to at Rocky Mountain Pro. Although that would be really cool to have all of them um, there as well. But
Yeah, you
yeah,
mentioned
so and
go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, and sometimes we get names like I know we had like Emi Sakura recently,
Oof.
on Heidi Howitzer. So yeah, it's always really fun.
That was actually the question I was about to ask. And now that you mentioned that Emmy Sakura Heidi Howitzer match, I think we previewed that show a few weeks before it happened, or the week that it
Mm-hmm.
happened, or whatever,
Yep.
because that match is like ringing a bell. And we were talking about how we that was one we would really want to see. Um,
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, so it looks like they're doing a great job out there too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Well, listen, Lola. Like I said at the beginning, we're very excited to have you on. We love the new character, and we really hope for good things for you coming up. Where can people find you on social or anywhere else?
Yeah, on Facebook you can find me with Lola the Adventurer. On Instagram and TikTok, Lola's dot big dot adventures. I'm on Twitter or X as Ola Lola. I don't really get on there as much, um, but yeah, all everything else is really just Lola the Adventure.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Well, we're big fans. We recommend anybody who's listening here to definitely check out an episode of Rocky Mountain Pro Charged. They are on like episode 440, so they've been going forever. They know
Wow.
what they're doing, and the shows are really good. And Lola is certainly a highlight. So I urge you guys to go check it out because we really enjoyed it. And Lola, we really enjoyed having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much again for inviting me. This was so much fun. And you guys are amazing. And thanks for watching the show too. Yeah, thanks.
Hey,
Absolutely.
thanks for what you're doing. We're definitely enjoying it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope to see you guys come down to Colorado. That'd be really fun.
We were talking about it
So
before
we
the
would, yeah.
if I can
Yeah.
get out there, do they ever have weekends where like Respect and Rocky Mountain Pro run at the same time, like where we could get a weekend and we could do both?
Actually, yes, in May. I believe it's the Respect Women's Wrestling show that's on the 16th.
Uh-huh.
And then on the 16th, we have a show at Rocky Mountain Pro.
Okay. Cool. Hey, if we can work that out,
Yeah.
John, I'm
Awesome.
all for going out there, man. I would love to see both those shows.
Amen. So we got nothing but time and opportunity at this point in our lives. So
No doubt. No doubt. Well, listen, Lola, thank you again for coming on, and we'd love to have you back sometime if you're willing to come back.
Yes, for sure. Let me know. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about coming down or anything, let me know.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
love to meet you guys
Absolutely. I might
in
take you
person.
up on that. Yeah, that's right. All right, Lola, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank
All right, Lola,
you.
have a great evening. Thank you.
Bye.